Okay, so for this exercise, we're going to be exploring how we can use different or how we can start building up the fire. And so initially, what you might want to do is figure out, well, where's the fire going to be? How do I place a quote unquote fire into this model? And so for that, we're going to have to look at what the design scenario is that we want to represent. And for this particular example, or for this particular problem, we denoted design scenario 1A that was in the homework assignment. And so the design scenario is going to be a Christmas tree and some decorations that are outside of, in the lobby outside of the bar area, in the basement floor. So we're already using the basement floor, so good job for us on that. We got the floor right. And so now we see this is the bar area, so this kind of looks like the lobby area out here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place an object where we think the fire is going to be. So it's a very general design scenario. You can kind of decide for yourself where you think the fire should be placed. I'm going to place it kind of over here in this area, just because it seems like the most logical for me. It's in front of the storage little door over here, so it's not really a high traffic area. I would expect like maybe over here, or over in front of the bathrooms or over by the staircases might be. So I'm just going to draw a small obstruction over here. And so if you remember from our first exercise, we can just pretty much just draw it, leave a little space for somebody to get into that closet, and then like that. And then now we have a nice obstruction over here. I'm just going to call this fire. Alright. And so if we look at this, I don't know how thick it is. I think looks like it's going to be below and kind of matching where the floor level is. And so we want this actually to be a little bit above where the floor is. So I'm going to make all these -3. And because we know that's where the top of the floor is. Oops. I gotta delete this row. Okay, so all these are -3. I don't really need it to be this big. I'm just gonna make it 0.05 off of the ground. And so now when we look at it, it's still negative. So I'm gonna actually make this negative, and that should change everything. Okay, right. So now we see that we have a small little obstruction here, and we're going to put our fire on that. So the way I like to put a fire on there is by drawing a vent. It kind of denotes something's coming out of it. So the vents you draw as a square like this. You just drag in one corner and drop like that. So that's how you draw the vent. And let's make sure it's the right elevation. 2.95. Yep. So it's 0.5 off of the floor on top of that obstruction we just made. And so that's how you draw the vent there, and that's where the fire, or the model of the fire is going to be. So now you'll notice we have no fire. And I'm going to take that up into the next tutorial. Okay.